Now tell me honestly, are you tired of digging through your pantry or kitchen cupboards, searching for that one ingredient that you need for your recipe? Or do you find yourself constantly buying duplicates because you can't find that one thing? Get ready to save time, money, and frustration with my ultimate guide to organizing your food by categories and zones. And yes, this works on small kitchens and kitchens with no pantries. I reached out to you and asked what were some of your pain points with your pantries. The number one pain point was that you didn't have a pantry and wanted some solutions on what to do to be able to store your food and be more organized. Before we could jump into the fun part of the organizing, you can take everything out of your cupboards and your pantry. This way you can see what you have. You're gonna do one of the following with each item. You're either gonna throw it away, especially if it's old food, expired food. When you're going through all your food, rotate some things. Take a look at the dates on your products. This date is not the expiration date. It's the best by date. Discard any cans that are bulging or have dents along the ceiling rim. If you have any unwanted or unopened food that can be donated to a food bank, put it in a bag and put it in the back of your car. For this project, you can just focus on your food or just get in there and do your whole kitchen. If you do declutter it all, be honest with yourself about what you really need to use. This is hard. I know it's hard. One time I had agony over a bread box that I never used.
That's a shame.
You can make this project very simple or you can make it very big. But whatever you choose, make sure you have the time to complete it. Sort your food and do it by category. Some categories can be canned goods, mixes, pet food, pasta, rice, and so on. So if you already have bins or baskets, consider adding all your packaged things to them. I like using clear bins. I'm a visual person. It's easier to see what you have, helps you not to overshop. And with someone like me with ADHD, it helps me get things back where it needs to be. So maybe consider going clear. Since I've gone to clear bins, I can't go back. It's just been so much easier for me and for the whole family. So wherever you can, ditch the boxes that your food is and put them in containers where they're all in like sizes. It'll create more room in your pantry. It takes up less space. That way you know when you're getting low on something. One question I got was, what can we do to organize if we have deep shelves? But a lot of things can get lost in there. Take advantage of bins and baskets. So when you need something, you're just pulling out a basket. So if your deep space can fit 4 baskets or bins, you're only moving those 4 bins around instead of all these canned goods and boxed items. Done! If you do need to stack things in front of each other, put the taller things in the back and the shorter things in the front. This will make it easier to find what you're looking for and to avoid purchasing duplicates. Christina says that one of her pain points with her pantry is small things like ranch dressing pouches, taco seasoning pouches, slipping behind the shelves. So I buy duplicates after shopping my shelves because I don't realize I have it already. That's the worst. I like to store the packets in a shallow bin. I used to keep them in a bin where they laid flat, but that was really hard to see them. I grabbed an old egg carton container that came with one of our refrigerators. I took the portion out that would hold the eggs, and it left this great container. So I put them in there upright vertically, and now I can flip through them and see everything that I have. You can use things like mason jars, but don't break the bank. While you're going through your categories and you're seeing what you have, make a pantry inventory, because trust me, you're not going to want to do it later. So take a look at your groupings that you have right now. When you put the items back in your pantry, add them to your list. If you already have our She's in Her Apron weekly planner, there is a section in there every month called Shop Your Shelves. You can add the items in the categories that are there for pantry, fridge, freezer, and freezer meals. This isn't your master inventory list, but it'll definitely help you when you're in your pantry ready to meal plan for the month. And then from there, you can create your menu. In the comments, I want to know from you, what are some tips and tricks that you've done in your kitchen to help utilize space, especially for your food? And if you don't have a pantry, what are some tips and tricks that you've been doing that has been helping? What I like to do in my pantry, and even if you don't have a pantry, you can still do this. Organize it into zones. Have a zone for all your baking supplies, like flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, chocolate chips, extracts, even down to sprinkles. Have a snack zone. Use clear containers to store snacks by type, like chips, crackers, granola bars, nuts, goldfish, fruit snacks. You get my point. My mother-in-law has always had a designated snack bin for the kids. In her pantries over the years, she has kept a drawer just for them. What's great about these bins is that if you're going on a road trip or on a picnic or to the field for game day, you could just take that bin with you. Super convenient. Have a breakfast zone. Having a breakfast zone with all the essentials you need, it will save you so much time and make breakfast prep easier. You can have a zone for lunch. My kids know this area is where we keep the bread. Yes, our bread has its own zone. Remember, you do you. An area where some of the condiments are, so they know when they go to make a PB&J, they're definitely gonna find the peanut butter always in a certain section. Paper plates, utensils, napkins, brown bags, plastic forks, knives, spoons. Put them all together to make packing easier. It helps preparing lunches and on-the-go things in a snap. This also makes those impromptu dinners outside so much easier. Everything is in one bin.
This is where I keep all my Tupperware, all my containers for school lunches, work lunches, meal prep, lunch prep,
and label. It's so important that we have things labeled right. Trust me. I grabbed a container of what I thought was steel cut oats to make overnight oats and was sadly disappointed in the morning when I opened it and realized I grabbed quinoa. Ugh. You couldn't eat that. It was disgusting. But seriously, everything doesn't need to be perfect and pretty. I could put a piece of like Scotch tape on here and write steel cut oats. The purpose is to know what's in these so we don't make a boo-boo like I did. Let's talk about how you can maintain this organization. The kitchen is the most used place in the home besides the bathroom.
Oh, gross.
Maybe you can have a set day each week where you go in and tidy up. There are 3 times, actually there's 4 times where I go heavy into organizing my pantry. Of course, the new year. In the spring when we get that itch, I don't know what it is about back to school time, but it gives me all the organizing feels. And in November, right before the holidays come. I know we can get bombarded with what we see here on YouTube, blogs, Pinterest, but do what makes you happy. Do what you can afford. You do you and be creative. And give yourself grace when the pantry gets untidy fairly quickly, especially if you have children. Show them your systems that you created. Let them know where certain things are and what they have access to. If this gave you the pick-me-up that you needed to get into your pantry, then you're going to love this video here. I'll meet you over there. Thanks for joining me. Bye.